absolutely went into marriage knowing I was going to become a divorcee. There was no question in my mind. I knew at some point we would get divorced. The only question mark was when. I thought, you know, when I'm 40, maybe I'd get that title. Maybe then I'd earned it, you know, 10 years down the track. Because I think 10 years in a marriage, that's a pretty good innings in this day and age. That's like a good run.
Can I ask what you're doing?
Excuse me?
Can I ask what you're doing?
I'm recording myself.
Why?
Why not?
You're just recording yourself in the toilet?
Yes, why not?
And then what do you do with it?
I just post it online because I'm so gorgeous.
You are gorgeous.
Yeah, so I record myself whenever.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Strange, but cool.
You know, there's quitting your job. There's getting fired from your job. And then there's recording a public TED talk about why you should get fired. And uploading it for the entire internet and your boss to see. That's exactly what this self-proclaimed girl boss just did. She didn't just burn bridges. She live-streamed the fire.
Men need to toughen up, and I think if men were forced to be homeless, they would learn how to be better men. Because that's what made men manly in the past, was having to build houses and stuff. If we just made men be homeless for like a year, I think it would fix a lot of problems.
That would be
society.
so good, especially because we don't force men to do military anymore like they used to. They make them homeless for a year. Let's see how they fucking
make them just figure it out, and make them homeless in a country where they don't know the language, and that way they really have to go through something, and then maybe they can like be appreciative.
And this is why podcast equipment needs to be regulated. What are Minnie, Ruby, Frankie, and Jody Hildebrandt on about? Men are forced to be homeless. We live in a capitalist hellscape. I know that you think men hold all the power, but that's like 1% of them, and the rest of them are considered disposable. Think about how many homeless men you have passed on the street in your life, and you want there to be more of them? I'm sorry, 105 million homeless men isn't enough for you? And let me also clarify, you two state that the reason that men are not great is because they haven't suffered enough.
Tremendous number of divorces when husband and wife are both working and husband loses job. Big precipitator for divorce. I've seen a lot of women that when their spouse loses the job and they become the breadwinner, they find that very unappealing. That that a man as the breadwinner was appealing, the man as economic equal is appealing, the man as I have to take care of him financially and provide for him, very uncomfortable.
She opens TikTok, lashes on point, coffee in hand, and starts dragging her workplace like she's auditioning for a reality TV villain edit. Her words, not mine. I don't even do half the work I'm paid for. My boss is clueless, so I just milk the clock. And my personal favorite. These customers are so dumb, I don't know how they function. Oh, and she tagged the company. Because why stop at career sabotage when you can make it GPS precise for HR?
So the coffee date wasn't enough. Now y'all trying to take women on walking dates?
Okay, and what's wrong with those?
Like, at this point, I'm just convinced that some men do not like women. They don't want to put forth no effort.
Why? Because they don't want to spend a lot of money on a first date when the entire purpose of that first date is to get to know the person and actually find out if one wants to continue in a relationship?
First was the coffee date. Now y'all don't even want to spend $4. You want to take the girl walking.
And what exactly is one expecting on a first date? A 5-star dinner?
I wouldn't even advise a teenager to accept a walking date. He better take you to the movies or something.
Well, there's nothing wrong with going to the movies. However, I will say that it's probably not the best way to get to know the person that you're on a date with, especially since you're going to probably be sitting in relative silence for a couple of hours. But trying to say that a guy doesn't like a woman because he actually wants to take her on a coffee date or a walking date is absolutely ludicrous. How much a guy likes a woman is not dependent on how much he...
See how I don't date broke men? Very mindful, very demure. I'm not like you other girls. I don't go 50-50 with a man. A man picks me up. I don't drive to see a man. A man pays for my Uber.
This is just the reality of it. So women, you know, we're more educated now, and I think that we're furthering our education. So with that being said, we're going to hold off on the baby making. We're going to hold off until we get that great job. Really career driven. And I don't think there's anything wrong with hoping that there's someone either on your level or higher than you.
Let him cook.
Go ahead, doctor. All right. So before, right, it was okay
when the man made more money to be the one to buy everything, to do, you know, treat you and all this other kind of stuff. And now that you make more money, you can't be that one, right? You can't be the one to pay for the meal and because you're dating down. To me, by this particular study, I have to date down now. What is that?
Let him cook now.
I wanted to make more money. If there is a responsibility with making more money, first of all, I don't believe in any of it. But if there's a responsibility that comes with making more money, accept it.
Man.
Fast forward 3 days, she's back on TikTok. The lashes are gone, the lighting's bad, hoodie pulled tight. And now she's saying, "Ladies, the corporate world is toxic. They just fired me out of nowhere." Out of nowhere. Ma'am, you literally built them a case file. Your video was basically HR's version of an early Christmas gift.
Women cheat just as much as men. They're just better at it. And if anything, they do a lot more micro-cheating. What I mean by this is one of the things that women can do that men can't is on a daily basis, they can plant seeds for cheating without realizing. So if she just posts a beautiful picture, guys can comment and she can say, thank you, and that tiny thing is happening on a daily basis. Whereas for men, they can't shoot their shot with that many girls and get a reply every day. So we're living in a time where if you wanted to be a female cheat, it'd be the easiest time to be that way.
What do you think the issue is with dating right now?
Ooh.
Men.
Why?
Speak on that.
Literally just men.
What about men?
Just their pure existence.
What could they do better?
Not exist.
So do you think you could survive without men?
Absolutely.
How long?
Probably longer than I would survive with men.
You know how to change a tire?
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course, the comments section didn't hold back. One guy wrote, "You didn't get fired for being a woman, you got fired for being lazy and loud." Another said, "This ain't sexism, this is actions meet consequences-ism." It's incredible how many people think a paycheck is a participation trophy. Like, you just show up, vibe for a few hours, complain online, and the money magically rolls in.
Are you single? I am now.
What do you mean?
I had a wife, now I don't have a wife.
How do you go from having a wife to not having a wife?
I went on deployment to Okinawa, Japan. My wife, dude, 1 week into that deployment, now I don't have one.
Well, how long were you together?
I've known her my whole life, since I was like elementary school, the whole way on to high school. Joined the Navy, married the girl, now we're here, single.
I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
It is what it is.
Did she beg for you back?
She did, yeah.
What'd you tell her?
I said, you gotta be out by December. She was out by December. That was it.
How much did you spend on the ring for her?
$6K.
$6,000.
$6,000.
And you thought you were getting...
Yeah, no quality there. Yep.
So could you see yourself getting married again?
Probably not. These girls now don't tell the truth about nothing.
Here's the thing. Social media clout is temporary. Bills are not. And that viral moment you're chasing, it won't pay your rent when your Wi-Fi gets cut off because you wanted to roast your own boss for likes. It's not the system that's toxic here. It's your inability to keep private problems private.
G'day folks. So I've just got this comment from Hayley saying you're old, you're ugly, you're not funny, get off the internet. Wow, that hurts. So I've looked Hayley up. I've done a bit of research on Hayley, looked her up. Turns out that Hayley's actually a beautician, okay, at a spa resort, which actually isn't too far from here, not far down the road. So I've just jumped on the website and had a bit of a look at the spa.
This woman harasses dudes on the internet and has no idea that people can find out quite a bit about who they are as people. It's not that hard, but she thinks because she's a woman, that makes her bulletproof to consequences.
And it turns out it's one of these spas that does everything, you know, massage, remedial massage, relaxation, haircuts, the whole kit and caboodle. They do the lot. So I rang the spa up and I got a hold of the manager and I asked if I could actually request a certain beautician to do it. She said, yeah, that's fine. So I've requested Hayley, I've made a booking. Guess what, Hayley? Tomorrow you're going to be waxing my back, sack and crack, love. You might not think I'm funny, but I think that's going to...
So the next time you want to hop on camera and trash your employer, Ask yourself one question. Is the dopamine hit of 15 seconds of internet fame worth 15 weeks of unemployment? Because being a girl boss means owning your actions. Not crying on TikTok when the consequences show up.
I absolutely went into marriage knowing I was going to become a divorcee. There was no question in my mind. I knew at some point we would get divorced. The only question mark was when. I thought, when I'm 40, maybe I'd get that title. Maybe then I'd earned it, 10 years down the track. Because I think 10 years in a marriage, that's a pretty good innings in this day and age. That's like a good run. Turns out it was just a 3. In the end, that's all we kind of reached our limit with. But, still got the title in the end. And obviously, I don't want to get married ever again. However, double divorcee is a term that I'm living for. Like, that is, isn't it? Oh, yeah, I'm a double divorcee. What? That's Slayana. Almost would be worth getting married again for. But as I said, I'm not going to get married again unless it's someone with terrible health, no living other relatives, and a lot of money. In which case...
And that wraps up today's episode of Manosphere Daily. If you enjoyed the content, give it a like. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified as soon as a new video is out. Share your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.